Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in our program, Let's Chat, every Thursday at 1 p.m. with Alexandria Monge and
Orestes, Cruz.
From
Alexandria Mortgage.
Exactly. And as always, we always bring you guys some fresh information so you guys to enjoy. And, the idea is not to keep you long, but the little bit that we share at least is going to be helpful for all of you. And Oreste is going to be telling us a little bit today, what are the trends now in the market? What is happening? This is extremely important because you know what? If you are a buyer or if you are a seller, you need to know, right?
Yes.
What are the trends? What's happening out there in the market? So you know if it's the right time to sell or the right time to buy. So why don't you share a little bit with us, Oreste, what's going on right now?
So what do we see from the mortgage industry? We see financing to continue to get flexible. Actually, one of the major changes that just happened this month is Fannie Mae changed the regulations where a borrower's income can be utilized up to 50%. The debt-to-income ratio was increased from 45 to 50%.
Wow.
And there's even other regulations put in place, like student loans that were supposed to be taken into account even when there wasn't a payment, that no longer has to be taken into account. So Fannie Mae is looking for ways to extend ratios, to provide more financing, to attract more buyers. We understand that prices continue to go up.
Oh, definitely. I haven't seen a change in that.
Yeah, correct.
That's for sure.
And I think the government realized the same thing and is adjusting their guidelines to allow for more homeowners to get access to, or future homeowners get access to properties.
So, see now then, with this that you're telling me, I'm sorry, I was going like, many people now are going to be able to qualify
for more.
Exactly. So even if we're talking about, for example, people that are coming out of college with these debts or whatever, it's going to be easier for them to own a home. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct. It's going to be easier for them to qualify.
Okay. Well, definitely that's a flexibility that, we haven't seen for a while.
Correct.
And I believe that it's very interesting because now, see, if you are planning to sell, this is going to be perfect because now there's going to be a higher demand for property.
It's already there and it's continuing to increase.
It's continuing to increase.
Correct.
So basically, now we have this flexibility. More people are going to be able to buy. And if you were just coming out of school with, school debts or whatever, there's going to be a little bit more flexibility. Are they going to take in consideration, not even one account? It's just it's so hard to believe. Yeah.
So that there's a current rule that was in place that if you had any student loan debt, we had to take 1% of your loan balance into account. So let's say you owe $40,000 in student loans. It was a $400 liability that affected your debt to income ratio. But most of the time, student loan payments are much lower than 1%. So what they're doing now is that, for example, you just got out of college and your student loans are still deferred.
Yes, that goes on forever and ever. It's a snowball.
We don't have to take it into account.
Oh, wow.
That's before awesome. We had to use 1%, and that was affecting buyers' ability to qualify.
Young people, I see someone there. Oh, okay. If you are about to finish school and that was one of your concerns, because, for example, I have a 23-year-old son tells me, Mom, actually, I don't see myself probably moving out. Every time it gets harder and harder for us as young people to be able to own a house. Well, now I got news for you. For the parents, for the kids, you're going to be able to afford your own property. And you know what? It's always better to pay your own property than to rent.
Yes, it is.
Correct? Now, why don't you tell us a little bit, because this is, it's funny, but every time we're doing a recording, it's like everybody knows when to call you at that perfect moment. Hopefully my phone doesn't ring again. But anyway, as I was saying, we come across, as real estate agents, we come across these constant questions regarding credit.
Yes.
Okay. And this is sometimes people feel, buyers feel a little bit embarrassed when you start working with them as real estate agents. They don't want to tell you maybe that they had a bankruptcy, or they don't want to tell you that they owe $10,000 on X amount of credit cards. So if someone is, has their debt and a certain amount, what are the recommendations that you would give to these future buyers so they can start working on these little credit issues?
So, first of all, always find information. Just yesterday, we were speaking to a buyer that he thought he couldn't buy because he had a bankruptcy 13 years ago.
Oh my
and
God.
someone told him it was 15 years before he could buy.
So basically this person has been holding off for a while. Wow.
So please come and ask the questions. Credit is it's a necessity for financing, but it doesn't have to be perfect credit. Credit scores could be in the 500s. It's down to a 580.
Can you really buy? I'm sorry. I'm a real estate agent, but you're so used to working at least with a 620, at least 680 and above. Can you really buy with a 500 credit score?
Yeah.
Really?
DU, the systems that we have to utilize to approve a buyer will take into consideration other factors like employment history, your income, your debt to income ratio, and allow you to purchase with a lower credit score.
And that's FHA, right?
FHA or conventional. Conventional, you want to be in a higher or low 600s.
Okay.
FHA allows you to come down to 580.
Oh, wow.
So
that's pretty low.
There's always a financing option.
Okay.
It's just a matter of knowing exactly what we're working with. But fixing credit, so those buyers that have blemishes.
Okay.
A challenge in the past. Sometimes a medical collection for $50 will drop your score.
Super important. You just said, I'm sorry to cut you. You just said something super important. Sometimes because of little things like that, a medical issue, people get stuck. So I'm sorry, I interrupted you, but yeah.
So there's a lot of things that can be fixed in credit.
Okay.
And lenders have the ability to do something called rapid score, which is when we tell the bureaus or send them the right information about the account so that your credit can be updated within 5 to 7 business days.
So what's the difference between that rapid score and the normal run that they do on your credit?
So if you do it as a borrower, it takes 30 to 60 days for bureaus to update your information.
People, I'm learning too. Go ahead.
When we do it as a lender on your behalf, it takes 5 to 7 days.
Wow.
So normally what we need is a documentation. For example, proof that you paid off the collection, proof that you reduced the balance of a credit card, proof that you did something that changed your profile of the credit that will get us to update. And there's another system that we use that's called a simulator.
Okay.
Which tells us if you do this and this and this, your credit score is going to go from here to here. In the banking world, when we run credit, it'll tell us your score right now is a 580 and the possibility of increasing up to what point. So for example, you have a 580 today and you could get it up to a 640. If we click on that 640, it tells us pay this account, pay this account, pay this account, and you'll get it there.
That's similar to the case that you did with one of my buyers that she took basically like it was a 4-month period.
Correct.
And you were constantly monitoring her credit until you told me, Alex, they're ready to go.
Correct.
That's basically what you did, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So we don't work in repairing credit. We're not a credit repairing agency, but we do work closely with credit and we know exactly what has to be done. So when there's a borrower willing to do the work, we'll be able to get it done.
Okay. Well, see, I'm telling you, definitely, everybody in their own area, Oreste here as of all-in-one mortgage, he's perfect in what he does, their process, they're very customer service oriented. And then me, on the other side, I do the real estate part, and that's where my expertise kick in. But, definitely, that's why as real estate agents, we need to constantly be in contact with our lenders because there's so many changes constantly. See, for example, he mentioned at the beginning, also what he just said right now about the credit score. I mean, those are things that we need to know so we can offer our buyers a better service of information. And basically that's what it is. We need to be source of information for our clients.
Correct.
Not only for buyers, but also for sellers, because any little change in a trend of the market definitely will change the whole scenario. Yeah. Correct?
And it's always been like that.
Yeah. So is there any other change in that? Maybe, what about inventory?
Inventory continues to be low.
It continues to be low.
It's expected to increase because more and more homeowners, current homeowners, are realizing it's a good time to sell. You're right. You're going to expect more listings.
Yeah, good for me.
Which means that all those buyers we have out there that don't have properties, we can find them properties.
I have a couple of buyers that I'm already working with, and they're ready, but sometimes it's hard because there's not too much inventory. And, that's why right now, definitely, I've emphasized so much, and you guys have probably seen it in our previous shows, of buying a new property versus an old one. And you are going to see in the next program of Let's Chat on next Thursday at 1 p.m., a beautiful tour of a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom. I'm not going to give you too much info because then, you'll lose interest. But, definitely it's a huge, huge difference between buying a new property versus an old one. Let's start by this. A new one, for example, even though they need to do an appraisal, but it's much easier, right?
The comparables are there. Normally within the community, there's other sales already where you don't have to worry about appraisal.
Exactly. The developer already has sold a couple of them, so there's no worries about, oh, is this property going to appraise? Oh my God, am I going to have to pay $5,000 above appraised value? You know, it's easier.
You don't have to worry about any repairs.
No repairs. There's no inspection because it's a brand new property. I mean, all you have to do is, don't get me wrong, there are inspections, but it's basically to say, by the way, everything is okay, or maybe there's a little scratch here because they left a tiny bit of cement. But I mean, I'm taking it to extreme. But basically, the inspections when you're buying a new home is like, okay, yes, everything is perfect. When can I move in? That's it, correct. Right? But there's nothing else. And incentives, yes, incentives.
Your cash to close.
Cash to close. Come on, I told you about this client. I show him the new home and he says, wow, I was going to pay $215,000 for a 1993 townhome versus a brand new townhome for $16,000 more. No cash to close because he doesn't need closing costs, right?
Costs prepaid on reserve.
And by the way, All-in-One Mortgage, they're approved lenders for a couple of developers here in Miami. So don't worry that if you go directly to one of these developers with Alexandria, obviously, yes, you're going to be covered. You're going to be covered not only because you're working with a great real estate agent, but you're also working with a great lender that they're already approved. They know the process, and we're going to take care of you all the time from the moment that we start the process all the way to the end. Would you add anything else, Oreste?
Just keep in mind, great time to buy. New properties, pay for all your closing costs. All you really need is your down payment. And it helps with the cash to close. Definitely the time to buy.
Down payment for a property of $233 approximately.
About $8,000.
$8,000. People, $8,000. That's nothing.
That's almost what it takes to rent a home today.
Yes.
First, last deposit.
You're totally right. You're going to move it into a 4-bedroom, let's say, or a house or whatever. Let's say even a townhouse. Townhouses are going for $1,900. $1,900 first month. Let's round it off to $2,000 if it's a house. $2,000 first month. Last month, another $2,000. Security deposit, another $2,000. That's what? $6,000. For a difference of $2,000, you're buying a brand new home and you're paying it for yourself. Correct?
It's a no-brainer.
So it's a no-brainer. Well, guys, I think that's all for today.
Yes.
We want to keep them enticed. Definitely. And, every Thursday we're going to be bringing some fresh information to all of you. Keep tuned in. And I'm sure that if you guys need anything, you can call Oreste Cruz from All-in-One Mortgage. Before you even start looking, make sure you get approved. What's your contact info, Oreste?
786-419-5176.
And once you get approved, Oreste calls me, Alex, you're ready to go, green light, start looking for a property, and that's where I come in and start working with you. I take you by the hand from the beginning all the way to the end until closing with a nice bottle of champagne. So, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget, if you need to buy, sell, or rent, you can call me, Alexandria, your realtor, 786-344-5411. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next Thursday in Let's Chat again at 1 p.m. God bless. Have a great day. Thank you, Oreste.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.